Hey guys, it's me, it's Jess. Jake's kind of just like walking around here, so bear with me. Um, I'm gonna talk about, hi, I'm gonna talk about the truth, why I'm not doing well, and my experience. And this is hard to talk about. So, I'm still not fully aware of everything that went on. My memory is very poor. I have spent a good 6 months in psychosis. So I can't remember everything. This is just gathered from other people and from what I can remember. I remember I wasn't sleeping very well. I wasn't per se manic. I could have been hypomanic, but I wasn't sleeping well at all. And my anxiety was really, really high. I remember that. I had went to my family doctor to get, like, I was getting pills to sleep. Like, I wanted to sleep and I wanted to take care of myself. I had come off of one of my medications that I knew was harming my liver. And I had done that without a doctor's permission, without bypassing it by a doctor or anything like that. And so I had started to wean off of my medications and stuff. And so that was happening. And I was also missing my meds. Like, I literally kept forgetting, and I never used to do this. I used to forget to take my meds. It was not intentional at all. I would just forget. And I'd run out of meds and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get my meds the next day. And then I would never actually get my meds. I would forget to get my meds and refill them. So I was going days at a time without my meds and forgetting my meds and stuff. So my meds weren't properly taken. And some of it was not my fault, and some of it you could say it's my fault. I really wasn't a good headset about being on that medication. Definitely this is difficult for me. Once I came full-blown psychotic, within a few days my family had to take me to the hospital because they had never seen me so sick before. It took 2 tries to get admitted. They knew I needed to be in the hospital, and the first time I went with my in-laws, and they took me, and they didn't admit me because I said I was perfectly fine. And that's how I was presenting, but I really wasn't okay. And this is what happens sometimes. And the next time, which was, I'm pretty sure the same day, don't quote me, I'm like, time's iffy and everything. I went to the hospital again, and my boyfriend had called my sister, and my sister had come, and she had come and taken me to the hospital and waited with me until I got admitted. And a bunch of stuff was going on with my family, which is other stuff. Most of it I can't remember, but I can remember a little bit. I was believing things that weren't true. Like, I believed I was like a queen. I believed so many things that weren't true, and I was seeing things in people, and I believed that I was Mary Magdalene and stuff like that, and Mother Teresa, and I thought I was everybody in the world, and I just totally out of it. And I definitely at that point was put on a form. A form in Canada is like, illegally you have to stay in the hospital, so a doctor had formed me. That's what they call it. So I was on a form, so I was legally bound to be at the hospital. I was seeing things, like I was seeing people's faces as like green and different colors, and I was seeing colors, and I was seeing people handcuffed, and I still don't know if that's real. And like, um, it's unbelievable. I know I'll never get answers to some things that went on. I'll just never know, maybe. But I have the people around me to help me. Um, at one point, I had tried to escape the hospital. I was trying to like get away. I was trying to get outside. I was trying to like do all these things. This is not me. So not me. I've never experienced this in my life. Um, Definitely not something I'm used to experiencing. Um, Eventually, because I believe, and my family doesn't even know why I was in isolation. Isolation is where you're locked up in confined area. Um, I assumed it was for a few days. I think it was a few days, maybe my family had said, but I was throwing things and kicking things a lot. I wasn't hurting people or anything like that, but I was just aggressive in general and agitated, and they took me to isolation. And I do remember security taking me and asking me to go, and I was reluctant and kept on mouthing off and stuff. Not even mouthing off, more like uh, trying to look out for myself, I guess. And like, I didn't want to be touched. There was some sexual indicators in my psychosis, and I didn't want to be touched by anyone. But they eventually got me down and took me to isolation. I started getting shots in isolation to calm me down. I'm pretty sure. I still take a shot now. I get a shot as one of my medications. It's continued. It's every 2 weeks I go to the doctor and get a shot. It's one of my medications. It's a pain in the ass, but it's the way it is. It's the only way they could really get me to take medications, because that's another thing, was I was denying my medications because of side effects, and I wasn't taking my medications either. And it was another way of them being able to isolate me and be able to give me a shot so they could get me some medication in me to calm me down, because I do remember sleeping for a little bit. I do remember that. I barely slept at the beginning. I know that. I asked a nurse that I felt comfortable with, that I knew, and I definitely wasn't sleeping. Couldn't sleep. I'm aware now that I was hearing voices. I still hear voices, but I was hearing voices, and I was doing some of the things that the voices were telling me. For instance, when I was in isolation, I'm pretty sure the voices would tell me to like bang on the wall, just bang and bang and bang. And yeah, over time things are getting better, and it's good. My battery's gonna go, so things are getting better, and I will keep you updated. But this is what actually really happened. Okay? I love you guys.